The idea of self and government are opposite subjects in many ways, but both are needed to balance each other. The government affects our daily decisions because everything we know is funded and set up by them. Our schools use the state government's education system, but is carried out by individuals. We all work together to create a perfect society. Writers can produce attention from their literature to help the government develop reform programs. We all know that it is important for the people to love a person in power, or he will lose his newfound power. We, as individuals, should understand that leaders cannot always make the best decisions because, as humans, we are full of mistakes. But we should always try to support their tough decisions when it is possible. Some radical ideologists believe that we would be better off without government, but the government pays for everything. We have schools, roads, and more. We may have our differences in opinions and beliefs, but the truth is that we both need each other. Overall, the three things that are most important is to get the attention, support, and to work together through the everyday trials. We need to be aware of everything going on around us in the world. It is possible but hard to grab the attention of a busy government, but you could get what you want. The government holds our popular opinion valuable. For an example, look into elections. The candidate who is most popular gets the position. It is a proven fact that the government cannot make everyone happy, but will do what it can to make most people happy as possible. Dr. Jonathan Smith was a master satire artist and possessed many other attributes that common people forget. He wrote an article called A Modest Proposal that created a massive disturbance in the people, therefore forcing the government to direct its attention on his proposal. Even though it was made for satire, I understand that it was double meaning, telling the government to fix certain issues. In line 15 of A Modest Proposal, Swift makes a joke saying everyone should provide poor children to the market. Of course, people will be horrified by this claim, but he successfully got their attention on the poverty issue in his country. In many ways, Swift should be considered a hero, a single man who was able to create so much distress in people that the government decided it was time to call for action. Satire content can be a very powerful tool in politics. No one wants to be made into a joke. It's uncomfortable to be laughed at. Grabbing the attention of the government is what brings change. We all have a duty to say our opinion when we change, because we could be the reason a country comes together and fixes itself. Overall, getting the attention of the government and the people of our nation is a very powerful form of our right to speech and should be practiced when necessary. The second topic I will discuss is for the government to have the support of the common people. This is where it gets tough all around, because you cannot make everyone happy. The government has no power if the people do not support them. That is why decisions can be tough in a government position. We as citizens should come together and help change our government. If there is something that the majority of people do not agree with, Machiavelli is a political scientist in history who strongly believes in a strong government. He tells the prince that the people are evil-natured, and a leader must be able to do horrible things and rule people through fear, but remain popular by the people, or he will lose his power. I believe that his concepts are strong, but can be radical in some areas. He also tells the prince that fear can be a motivator for people. In The Prince, paragraph 7-9, Machiavelli asks the question if it is better to be loved or to be feared. He then tells the prince that it is much safer for a ruler to be feared than loved. I believe that if one rules with fear of the people, if one rules with fear, the people will take a stand against their government at some point, leading to a violent civil war. The third and final topic I will discuss is about both government and individuals working together to create a forward-moving society. We have to balance power between each other because without each other we are both weak. Many civil wars happen because government can't work with the people. Machiavelli tells the prince that while it is important to be feared, it is also very important to be popular with the people. Typically, we vote on specific subjects that have to do with government. But when a national emergency happens, the government can create unpopular decisions. There are even issues with states' laws and federal law colliding. For an example, the issue of the legalization of marijuana is legal in some states, but is still considered illegal by federal law. This is where the 10th Amendment can become an issue. I believe that it is necessary to have the federal laws to rule over the land, but some people firmly believe that states should have the right to rule their land. The key to progress of the government and the people is to bring attention, support, and listen to the people, or it will all come to an end. For us people, it is important to tell the world how we feel, and for the government, it is important for them to recognize what needs to be done.